Moses leading them out of Egypt, giving us the go. Take the land.
No, we all out of control today.
Bro, we ain't do that thing right, bro. I was reading Judges to my kids. Hello. And I forgot Dan never took their inheritance, bro. Them boys went through Judges. They said Dan ain't take their inheritance like they supposed to. Them boys found a little quiet town, connected to nobody, killed them all, took that thing. You know what I'm saying? And they took the idols of what's the name? Was it Micah in Judges 17? Or whatever that dude's name was? They took his idols, that thing stayed there until they got taken away. That means Dan ain't never do it right, bro. I was like, man, that's cold. But Ephraim, honestly, like after Jeroboam came, bro, they ain't had not one.
Nah, not one.
It's like this supposed to be a first.
Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is YAHUAH. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace, through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that couldn't make it, to the saints watching in on the camera, but no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. Well, happy beginning of month to all the brethren, you know what I'm saying? This is now, you know what I'm saying, the evening. This is the evening of the second day of the month. You know what I'm saying? But in the previous daytime that we just came out of, this will be the first day of the first month. Month called Abib in Hebrew, right? This is according to the calendar that we reckon. Not to say that any calendar that the rest of the Hebrews keep is wrong, even though I tell you a lot of them are. But not to say that mine is right. You know what I'm saying? The calendar, I say it's my calendar. I don't say it's God's. It's a calendar that, you know, I think we put together, and it's a chance that it's right, but there's also a chance there's a lot of stuff that ain't, there's no hard evidence to support it, right? So, you know what I'm saying, if you want to learn more about it, reach out to us. We'll talk to you about it. We'll probably put something up on the page to explain it one day. But according to the calendar, we reckon today as being the first of Abib, trying to keep things in the order the Most High God gave us. And now we start to count our days. What's the first day we got to hit?
No, the Sabbath.
First, well, we get definitely the Sabbath, but the first day we got to, the first day or the first significant day of the month that we got to hit is the day that we choose our lamb. Yeah. Right? That's gonna be the 10th of the month. So on the 10th of Abib, that's when we're gonna choose our lamb. What day is that gonna land in March?
27.
That's gonna be March 27th. All right, so we're gonna that's gonna be a Sunday. It's always gonna land on the Sunday every year. We're gonna go out, you know what I'm saying? Go choose lamb for the family. You know what I'm saying? Go buy us some lamb on that day. And you know, then a couple days later we'll start the preparation process. You know what I'm saying? Pull some things together. Then we're gonna have a small dinner, you know what I'm saying, here on what's that Wednesday before Passover?
Wednesday?
It's gonna be what, the 30th? Huh?
Yeah, the 30th.
The 30th. So then on the 30th, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna have a small dinner. It's not necessarily a day that everybody got to get together, but it will be, you know what I'm saying, in commemoration of Yahuwah's, Yahushua's supper. And then the next day, or next evening would be Passover. So we'll all be getting together, eating the Passover. Then the following day, we'll be getting together in the daytime to have a sacred assembly. We'll get together, we'll have, you know what I'm saying, have a Bible study in that day. Then get to back together that evening to have our normal Sabbath study. And then we'll go from there. All right? That's what we learned last week. We talked a little bit about all the, what do we call them?
The assemblies, solemn assemblies.
Solemn assemblies. What's the name that we call it? What's another name?
Feast.
Feast.
Appointed time.
There we go. Appointed time. If you look at the word feast in Hebrew, you'll see that it's defined as appointed time.
I think it is 2 pages.
Appointed times, right? Because what it does is it talks a little bit about, you know what I'm saying, a set date for something or a set time for something. So that's kind of what we would reckon today as being a holiday. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will call it a holiday. All right, well, happy Abib. Welcome to the new, you know what I'm saying, the beginning, the new month of the first of the year, you know what I'm saying? It's the beginning of months. I'm trying not to say new year, right? You know what I'm saying? Because the book never called it new year. It called it the beginning of months. You know what I'm saying? I like that a little better. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to the beginning of months, right? It's the first of the month, so it's the beginning of months. Where we leave off, we finished out Leviticus 23. Let's try to wrap up all of Leviticus now. After Leviticus, what did we get into?
Numbers.
Numbers. So it's interesting when we look at Leviticus. How much time y'all think passed by? We did, you know what I'm saying? We've been reading through Leviticus. How much time do you think we passed by?
Not that much time.
We ain't passed through nothing.
Oh, no.
Why? Why haven't we passed through time? We done a lot of reading. We read through a whole book. Why haven't we passed through much time?
Because he's still getting all of the laws. They can't really like move forward until everybody knows this stuff.
This is just laws we talking about. What we read here could have been, it's just laws that could have been talked about in a day or two. Right? These laws could have been given out in a day or two. Right? So the narrative that we're going through, right, is not necessarily moving forward. Because a lot of this is just saying this is how things should be done, this is how you should document it, this is how you should handle this is how, right? So all this is not necessarily time moving by. It's just really giving you the documentation of the law. When we get into Numbers, we're going to see time start to move again. Right? So Genesis, time moved. Moving, quick too. Exodus, for most of it, time was moving, quick. Right? Then you get the Leviticus.
And you got from Exodus from when Moses was a baby till when he was like 80. So that's about 80 years.
Yeah, time is moving, quick. You know what I'm saying? You telling stories, you go from point A to point B.
He was 80 when he brought him out, right?
Yeah, 80.
80.
Now what we're looking at, these aren't, we're not reading many stories. There's a few of them, but we're not reading many stories of, hey, this is what happened. It's all, if this happens, do this. And if a man does this, and if a woman does this, that, and this, that, and other. It's laws and judgments and statutes and commandments, right? A lot of this, whether it be to the priest, whether it be to the people, to the, you know what I'm saying? So this is Leviticus, right? Now we're about to dive, after, not now, but next week, God willing, we'll get through, you know what I'm saying, the rest of Leviticus today. Then next week, we'll get into Numbers. Numbers, we're going to get a lot more narrative, right? A lot more stories where to start to move time forward. And we'll see that some of this stuff gets applied, right? Come here and sit down, boy. All right. So let's take a look at Leviticus chapter 24.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive, beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually. Without the veil of the testimony in the tabernacle of the congregation shall Aaron order it from the evening unto the morning before the Lord continually. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. He shall order the lamps upon the pure candlestick before the Lord continually. And thou shalt take fine flour and bake 12 cakes thereof. 2/10 deals shall be in one cake. And thou shalt set them in 2 rows, 6 on a row upon the pure table before the Lord. And thou shalt put pure frankincense upon each row, that it may be on the bread for a memorial, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Every Sabbath he shall set it in order before the Lord continually, being taken from the children of Israel by an everlasting covenant.
Every when?
Every Sabbath.
So every Sabbath day, the priest has to do what? Let's regurgitate what we just understood, right? What does the priest have to do on every Sabbath day?
You gotta light the lamp.
Gotta light the lamp. What else?
Put frankincense upon each row, that it may be on the bread for a memorial, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So he's switching out the bread every Sabbath, right? This is the type of stuff we're going to see things throughout the scripture, and this is going to give us context. So now if we know that on the Sabbath, it's a commandment to switch out the bread, right? If we read, in Kings, the priest switched out the bread on, you know what I'm saying? It don't tell us today. It just said the priest switched out the bread. If we know our law, what day was that?
Sabbath.
Right? This is how you got to understand the book. When you look through this book, the book assumes that you know it.
Right.
That's why these people make a mess of it, because they start assuming, the book assumes you know, right? The problem is people don't know and they start assuming they do know. You can't assume you know. The book is assuming you know. So you got to actually know, right? People just get there, oh, but yeah, well, no, I feel like the priest can switch the bread any day he wants because he's the priest.
Plus this thing was written.
Right? Then they get to taking something else from the book and say, well, no, the book say the iniquity of the tabernacle falls on the priest. Therefore, he's responsible for it. He can do whatever he wants. That's how they look at stuff. Because that's a verse and that's a verse. And it makes sense to a dummy. And you ain't never read no book. You right, the iniquity do. So if it's wrong, it's only going to be wrong if it's shut up. You can't, nobody in this book do whatever they want to do. So you can just get that out of your mind.
Not even YAHUAH.
Not even YAHUAH. Yah himself do whatever he want to do and then constrain himself to not do whatever he want to do. Ain't nobody doing whatever they want to do. Everybody got to be constrained. Everybody got to have self-control. Everybody got to think through and be like, you know what? I'm not supposed to do that. Right? I shouldn't do that. Let me move a little different. Everybody got to do that. Because if you don't, what's going to happen? TJ, what's going to happen?
You're gonna die.
And then, you're going to die anyway. What's going to happen? Mel, what's going to happen?
I don't know.
What's going to happen?
You're gonna get in trouble, die, or
What happened after you die?
you're about heaven or hell.
You go right to hell. Right? If we don't constrain ourselves. The book say, let the love of God constrain you. Right? So what that means is, you know that the Most High God loves you. Right? That means, in order to remain in his love, I got to stay in this box. I can't just do whatever. I can't just go wherever I want to go, do whatever I want to do, talk how I want to talk. I can't do that. I got to stay in this box. How do I know what the box is? Well, that's easy. It's in the book. The book will tell you, hey, don't be lying, don't be stealing, don't be cussing, don't be cheating, it'll give you everything that you're not supposed to be doing, right? That becomes the box. I can do whatever I want except for those things, right? So now when I operate, people think, oh, you're constrained as in you're trapped. No, quite the opposite. I'm constrained and that makes me free. You trap when you have to sin. Right? You want to know it's a trap? When somebody say something to you and you just like, I just couldn't help myself. I had to say something to them. I had to cuss them out. That's a trap. You mean to tell me you couldn't react a different way? You had to act up? Like you had to be bad? You trap when you addicted to stuff. I'm addicted to drinking. I'm addicted to pills. I'm addicted to doing this drug or that drug or whatever it might be. That's a trap because you can't do anything else. You want to. You sitting there like, man, I love it. No, that's a trap. You trap when you chasing these little girls or these little boys and whatever you're doing, and you just can't. It's like, man, I don't want to mess with her. I don't want to mess with him. But then she walk up and just like, now you messing with her. That's a trap because you have no self-control. You can't stop yourself from doing it. You know what you should be doing, and you can't do it. That's a trap. That's being locked away. What the Most High God say, well, you restrict yourself. And in restricting yourself, now you're free. Your whole thinking is different. Right? People can't manipulate you. You ever seen an emotional person that think they got it? Nah, I ain't gonna let nobody talk to me. They get all emotional. You can't say that to me. I ain't gonna let nobody, no, he can't say it. And then you know what they be thinking? They think they in control. But guess what? If you got somebody that knows that about that person, or if you say that to them, every time they're going to react, right? Let me say you leave them alone. let me, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say you want somebody to react to get themselves in trouble, right? You at work, you know what I'm saying? You know this person. You say such and such to them, they're going to start yelling and screaming. You see they boss coming around, so you at work, you tell them, yo, blah, blah, blah. What you say to me? And then they boss with the corner, and all they see. Now you start playing the part. Why are you yelling at me? They boss look at them like, you tripping on this person? Who getting in trouble? Who started it, though? That's what happens. When you can't control yourself, you the one that's being set up. You're the one trapped. It's a snare put in front of you. Whereas when you can control yourself, somebody say something to you, and you looking at them, you take a beat, you think for a second, be like, I know what you're trying to do. That don't make no sense for me to react like that. Then you can take control. Why would you say that to me? Now when your boss is coming, guess what they hear? Why would you say that to me? Oh, what did they say to you? Right? Now it's a whole different story. We got to think smart because that's what the Most High got. We just got to restrain ourselves from reacting. We can't react from emotion. We can't react just because we feel like it. We can't react because we want people to know that we tough or we this or we that. That's not our life. That's not our life. Our life is to serve the Most High God. We get beat down in front of these people if it means that we go into the kingdom. Right? And you know what you just said? You said, well, after you die, you go where? Heaven or hell, right? Don't nobody go to heaven after they die. Matter of fact, don't nobody go to hell after they die either. Right? What happened to people after they die?
They sleep.
People sleep. They lay down. They dead. Right? They lay down. Some people get burnt up. They got ashes. They pour the ashes somewhere, put them inside a little urn. That's what happened to people after they die. Then guess what happens after that?
God put you back together.
One day, Most High God gonna come back here in the form of YAHUAH. And everybody who dead, everybody in the ground, he gonna raise them up. The people who got burnt up in ashes, they hold by all them ashes just gonna come right back together and become like a movie. You ever seen a little cartoon or something weird happen? Gonna be something like that. People don't believe it because you look at it and be like, man, that's only in movies. Right? It's only in movies. You don't see something like that.
He made Adam from the dust.
Y'all gonna see some stuff that's only in movies. Right? Yeah, all the stuff gonna come back together. The whole body is gonna come back. Like, people in the ground, they just bones, right?
Vision.
And you know what happened? You know what happened when they body. You know what happened when a person's body is dead for too long? The skin, you know what I'm saying, the meat, it starts to wither away and rot away. You know what I'm saying? And eventually it's only bones left. You ever seen like a mummy on TV or something like that? And you unwrap the mummy, it's just bones in there. Well, see, eventually everything just rot away and it just goes into the dirt. Who's seen Lion King? That's too old for y'all. Y'all seen Lion King? You know what I'm saying? Y'all ever heard like the circle of life? Yeah. So in Lion King, what they're trying to teach you is that when the animal dies, he goes into the ground, and then the ground has soil. You know what I'm saying? So he becomes a part of the soil, and it actually makes the soil rich. Like even some people that farm and make stuff in their yard, what they'll do is they'll take the trash. Like certain trash that they have, some of the food that they eat or bananas or whatever, they'll take that trash and they'll put it in one place and they'll let the food and the stuff rot away. And as it rots away, what it does, it creates rich soil. So rich soil helps you grow plants, you know what I'm saying, more healthy plants. So it's just like a circle. So that's what happened with us too. We just go into the ground, we become part of the soil. What's gonna happen is Most High God gonna take every little piece of us that rotted away in the soil, put it right back together, build us back together, stand us back up. So we dead. He gonna stand us back up. Then what happens there? Then you gonna have two groups of people. After he stands you back up and put you all back together, he gonna send one group of people right into a kingdom that he's gonna set up right here on earth. Right? It ain't gonna be no heaven. Nobody gonna like go up to heaven and be like this ghost or angel wings or none of that. We gonna be new versions of ourselves, right? And then we gonna go walk right into a kingdom. If we obey God and we do what we're supposed to do and we constrain ourselves according to the book, right? But then the other option is you get put back together, you know what I'm saying? Your body is back. And then guess what? He put you in a burning fire. And the fire is unlike any other fire. That's not true. The fire is just like another fire. Grab Exodus for me. Exodus chapter 4. Let me show you what type of fire this is.
And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe.
What I want, 3?
Yeah, 3.
It's Exodus chapter 3. What I want.
And Moses kept a flock of Jethro, his father.
This is verse 1. This is Exodus chapter 3, verse 1. Moving on to 2.
The father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock beside of the desert and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in the flame of fire out of the midst of a bush.
Watch this.
He looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed.
So the bush burned with fire, but what happened to the bush?
It wasn't consumed.
It was not consumed. In other words, it burned, but it never burned up. And that's what's going to happen to anybody who goes to hell. You have a fire that burns always, because the people who are being burned, although you feel it, and although it hurts, and although it's torment, you never burn away. Right now, if you light a fire on a piece of paper, imagine a piece of paper could feel the fire, right? Piece of paper, you burn it, and eventually the paper's gone. So guess what? There's no more fire, right? But imagine you light that piece of paper, the paper can still feel the fire, just as bad as they felt it when it was burning up, but the paper never burns up. It just lights on fire and it keeps burning and keeps burning and keeps burning. That's what it's going to be like for the people that don't obey God, right? So that's why we come here, because we want to understand, who are we dealing with, right? What does he request of us? And how do I get in his good graces? Let's keep going. This is Leviticus chapter 24. What verse?
8, 9. 8. Every Sabbath he shall set it in order before the Lord continually, being taken from the children of Israel by an everlasting covenant. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons, that they shall eat it in the holy place, for it is most holy unto him, of the offerings of the Lord made by fire, by a perpetual statute. And the son of an Israelitish woman, whose father was an Egyptian, went out among the children of Israel, and the son of the Israelitish woman and the man of Israel strove together in the camp. And the Ishmaelitish woman's son blasphemed the name of YAHUAH and cursed. And they brought him unto Moses. And his mother's name was Shelomith, the daughter of Debri of the tribe of Dan. And they put him in ward.
They put him where?
In ward.
What does that mean?
Like jail.
They put that boy in jail. Because who did he blaspheme?
YAHUAH.
He didn't blaspheme just somebody. He blasphemed the Most High God. Right? So when we looked at that, we looked like, whoa, 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 whoa. We know that's wrong now. But what exactly should be the judgment for such a crime? Right? The Most High God, we already have been given a commandment that we shouldn't even revile who?
The priest, our priest, or your brother, neighbor.
Or the leader of our people either. Right? So we know we can't revile Moses. We know we can't revile the priest. And you know what I'm saying? And it's like, we look at it, we're like, we know that we're supposed to honor God. We know we're supposed to put God first. We know we're not supposed to put any God before him. These are all commandments that we know. But this is a little different. This man cursed God. Right? Her son cursed God. So we look like, I don't know what the judgment should be. I mean, I don't know if this is just a regular stoning. Do we burn him? How do we handle this one? Right? So they put him in jail till they figure it out. Right? So they put him in ward. What else?
And they put him in ward that the mind of the Lord might be showed them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, bring forth him that has cursed outside the camp. And that all that heard him lay their hands upon his head, and let all the congregation stone him. And you shall speak unto the children of Israel, saying, whosoever curses his God shall bear his sin. And he that blasphemes the name of YAHUAH, he shall surely be put to death. And all the congregation shall certainly stone him, as well the stranger as he that is born in the land. When he blasphemes the name of YAHUAH, shall he be put to death.
Everybody get a piece of it, right? Keep going.
And he that kills any man shall surely be put to death. And he that
so now we're going into different laws, right? So they locked them up to get the mind of the Most High God. As the Most High God gave them that, Andre, where you at? Oh, okay. So, you know what I'm saying? After that, they like, you know what I'm saying? We need the mind of the Most High God. Most High God came back and he was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and stone him. Now everybody get a piece, even the stranger. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get some. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get some. Now put your hands on the first. Put your hands on the first. I want to make sure everybody know. All right, go ahead and get a butt. Everybody get a piece. Then after that, he just start going into other laws. Right? So imagine you just killed, everybody just killed a man. What's the next thing he say?
He that kills any man shall surely be put to death.
Right? What he's telling them is, don't like what you're doing too much. This is a judgment that just occurred. Don't get to liking what you're doing too much. Because anybody who kills somebody is going to be put to death just like that. Right? Keep going. Watch this.
He that kills a beast.
Kids, y'all be quiet now.
And he that kills a beast shall make it good, beast for beast.
Uh-huh.
And if a man causes a blemish in his neighbor, as he has done, so shall it be done to him.
Uh-huh.
Breach for breach, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, as he has caused the blemish in a man, so shall it be done to him again. And he that kills a beast, he shall restore it. And he that kills a man, he shall be put to death.
All right, so now, if I kill my person, you know what I'm saying, somebody, my neighbor dog, what I got to do?
You gotta give him a dog back.
I owe him a dog. You know what I'm saying? If I get into a fist fight with my neighbor, you know what I'm saying? He just want to, you know what I'm saying? You know how the kids say, what they say? Just give me a fair one. You know what I'm saying? Just want a fair one. You know what I'm saying? So I just get him, you know what I'm saying? We just squabbling out like men. But when I do, I black his eye. What happened to me?
You gotta get a black eye.
Do whatever you want to do, right? Most of our God saying, just know what come with it. Right? You shoot the fair one, whatever you do to him, gonna get back done to you. Right? You cause a blemish on him, gonna be the same type of blemish that caused on you. Right? Keep going.
And he that kills a man, he shall be put to death. You shall have one manner of law, as well for the stranger as for one of your own country.
One law, one for the stranger and one for the one who was born in your own country. It's the same law.
No dietary law, no ceremonial law.
It's one law. One law. So when you know it's one law, it's all or nothing. You know how you go to some places and they got a menu, you know what I'm saying? It's a French phrase. They call it a la carte. You know what I'm saying? They a la carte. When you read it, it's like a la carte. You know what I'm saying? That's what it look like. You know what I'm saying? Or the carte. You know what I'm saying? But it's a la carte.
It's that Helio plan. That's when they get you.
And the French, what it's talking about is you get to just take piece by piece. But then you got other menus that'll give it to you, and it's a whole meal. So you get this meal, come with two sides, you get this, and you get this, and it all come together. Right? When it's a one law, that ain't a la carte. You know what I'm talking about? That's the whole meal. You order it, the whole thing coming to you. Right? Guess what you paying for? Even if you say, now go ahead, you know what I'm saying, hold the rice and the beans. I don't want that. Guess what you paying for though? The rice and the darn beans. You know what I'm talking about? Go to McDonald's right now, right? Say, I want a Big Mac, right? Meal. Behold the patties. See if they give you a discount. They gonna look at you like, I mean, you sure? No, I want the Big Mac. I mean, but sir, you could probably just get, I want the Big Mac. Just hold the patty. After a while, they gonna look at you and be like, all right, guess what you gonna get charged? $7.99, just like every other Big Mac. I don't know how much they cost. I don't know how much they. I ain't buying no darn Big Mac. But whatever they cost, $5.99, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It gotta be somewhere in there. It got this hard, you know what I'm saying? You still gotta, you know what I'm saying? You still gotta dry the Big Mac, you know what I'm saying? Meat from wherever they, you know what I'm saying? Area 51, wherever they get that stuff from, you know what I'm saying? Goodness gracious. You know what I'm saying? So now you look at what the Most High God has given us in the form of laws, right? And he's trying to explain it to us so that we can understand what he wants. They said, let me get the mind of God. He's like, okay, well, let me not just stop there. You got to understand that whatever you do is going to get done back to you, right? To whatever degree that you do it. Keep going. Watch this.
You shall have one manner of law, as well for the stranger as for your own, one born in your own country.
That's right.
For I am YAHUAH your God. And Moses spoke to the children of Israel that they should bring forth him that cursed out of the camp.
Now, so look.
Stone him with stones.
Those were just laws, right? After all that was being explained, Moses like, got it. I understand the assignment. You know what I'm saying? Bring him on out here. Because the Most High God, he's looking like, oh no, you still got to do that. Right? So let's see what happens. They did what to him?
And Moses spake to the children of Israel that they should bring forth him that had cursed out of the camp and stone him with stones. And the children of Israel did as the Lord commanded Moses.
It's 25?
Yeah.
Let's look at 25 then. These are good laws. These are, I'm telling you, the laws that we reading, these are laws that these boys never touch. They never touch them. They don't think about them. They forget about them. But these are the laws that help you understand what the Most High God is really about, right? They make it all about dietary law and all about this, the morality law and all these different little things they done made up in their darn brain. I'll tell you what, you've never read anything in the book that say dietary law or morality law.
Or ceremonial.
Or ceremonial law. You've never read those things. They don't exist.
One manner of law.
It's one law. The whole thing is the law is what we're talking about, right? If you break it up in law, then it's law. The word law comes from Torah, right, which means instruction. So if you break it up, yeah, you can say there's an individual instruction. There's an individual commandment. You can use law in exchange for commandment. But you can't break up a whole section of our law, the law of Moses, break it up and say this is a section of the law. Like, no, that's not, you know what I'm saying? No, that's not how this thing works. And even if you do try to break it up, guess what? It ain't a la carte. Whole thing got to come. Even if you paying for all of it. Even if you just want that piece, you done pay for the whole thing. That means your butt dead. Because the wages of sin is what?
Yeah.
You pay for that. You pay for that. Right? You pay for that. This is Leviticus chapter 25, verse 1. Watch what the book say.
And the Lord spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, and say unto them, when you come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord.
When you come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a what?
Sabbath unto the Lord.
So what's a Sabbath?
Rest.
And when is that rest?
On the seventh day.
On the seventh day. So now he's saying the land even gets a Sabbath. Let's hear about this Sabbath of the land.
6 years you shall sow your field, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and gather in the fruits thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for YAHUAH. You shall neither sow your field nor prune your vineyard.
When he says sow your field, what does that mean?
Like plant your seeds.
That's right. You're not planting seeds. So he said you should never. So you neither sow your field or do what? Or prune your
vineyard. Prune your vineyard.
Right? So not only do you not sow your field, in other words, don't plant new seeds for it to grow, right? Remember, this is business. Yeah. Right? This is business. If I want to eat, I can't go to Walmart. If I want to eat, I have to plant food. I have to wait for a portion of time. It grows. I take the food off. I put it back in what's called a storehouse. So it's like a pantry. And you put it in there so that way you can come back to it and eat it later. Right? That's my method. You know what I'm saying? Every couple times a year, I'm doing what's called a harvest. I'm taking food out of my field that I grew out of plants, and I'm putting it somewhere and keeping it so I can get back to it later. Right? So I can eat it later. So this is what we do. This is how we eat. Right? Now, what he's saying is, not for 1 day, not the 6th day. I mean the 7th day. For an entire year, don't plant a thing and don't prune your vineyards. In other words, don't make your vineyard grow nicely, right? Let it grow wild, let it grow however it want to grow, even if that means ain't nothing coming off of it. For an entire year, it's a Sabbath. You have to let the land rest. So initially you think, well, how are we going to eat? Let's hear what the book says.
That which grows of its own accord of thy harvest shall you not reap, neither gather the grapes of the vine undressed, for it is a year of rest unto the land. And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee and for thy servant and for thy maid and for thy hired servant and for thy stranger that sojourns with thee, and for thy cattle and for thy beasts that are in thy land shall all the increase thereof be meat.
All right, so why would it be a rest for all of the animals?
Because he said it's a Sabbath in the land.
Remember, our what we grow in our land, That's part of the reason that we had the animals, right? The animals would support that, right? We'd have our ox pull in the threshing floor.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, they probably had the animals actually.
They were doing a lot of the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you would have the ox pull for the plow or the donkey pull for the plow, right? So this gives the animals a rest also. So not only does the land get a rest, the animals get a rest. Not only does the land and the animal get a rest, well, the people get a rest too, because normally you would be out there pulling and, you know what I'm saying, pruning and twisting and turning and planting and plowing and all that extra stuff. So now everybody get a rest for an entire year.
Bro, COVID had to hit for me to get a Sabbath.
Oh, yeah, nah, you know what I'm saying?
I got the whole year off.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't give me no whole year.
I think it was paid too.
Let me tell you something. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? They had me up in there working just like it was the 5th year. You know what I'm saying? It was a good old 4th year for me. You know what I'm saying?
I got
Goodness
that. I
gracious.
got my full salary, and I was off.
Must be darn nice.
That thing was nice.
Must be darn nice.
I want to say maybe a month, that was about it.
Till I start going crazy.
I don't
for
think
being
did I
out,
even
but
take a day off? I don't even think I took a day off. I was right back at it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, COVID hit. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to ain't nobody trying to hear that mess. Let's see, keep going. Let's see what else we got.
And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee. 7 times 7 years.
How many years is that?
14.
14, huh? How many years is that? 7 times 7 years.
35.
35. Goodness gracious.
7 times 7.
49. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't that 35?
We got.
That's 7 times 5. That's 7 times 5. Okay, all right. It's getting a little late, y'all.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
49, that's right.
That boy be answering Super Bowl with the wrong answer. I'm like, what in the hot dog? Yeah, we gotta get rid of that thing. Gotta protect the brother. You know what I'm talking about? Gotta protect the brother. You know that's a.
We're gonna edit that.
Yeah, you know
Oh,
y'all.
man.
Hold please. You know, and we're back. You know. Yeah, that's gonna put us at 49 years, right? So if you count every 7 years, the 7th year, every 7 years, that 7th year is rest, right?
Yeah, okay, got it.
So you count that.
Count the rest.
It goes 7th, right? Then it goes the 14th year, right? Then the 21st year, and you keep going until you you keep going until you get to the 49th year. That would be the 7th year of that cycle, right? So now he's saying that 7th year, the 49th year, would be a rest. Watch what happens next.
Then shall you cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month. In the day of atonement shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land.
So now, the 49th year, which is the 7th cycle of a 7th year, right? In the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you blow a trumpet of what's called Jubilee, right? Celebration, right? After blowing that trumpet, what happens?
And ye shall hallow the 15th year and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family. A jubilee.
Go ahead.
A jubilee shall that 15th year be unto you. Ye shall
The
not
what?
sow 15th.
50th.
50th. Sorry. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you.
So now in the 49th year, in the 7th month, on the 10th day, you blow the trumpet. The following year is the year of Jubilee, right? So you blow the trumpet of Jubilee before the year of Jubilee. In the following year, that's the year of Jubilee, right? In that year of Jubilee, everybody go free. Everybody go free. And then what else he tell you to do in that year? Watch this.
Proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and you shall return every man unto his possession, and you shall return every man unto his family. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, neither reap that which grows of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of thy vine undressed.
So what does that mean? The 49th year, you ain't working. The 50th year, you ain't working either? Ain't that what it just said? Don't sow.
Not sow nor reap.
So that's 2 years now in a row. When you come to the 49th cycle, 49th and the 50th year, that's 2 years that you can't do nothing in your field. Not only that, in the 50th year, you got to set everybody at liberty. So now, if I had a slave, if I had a bondman, if I had a servant, when the year of Jubilee comes, guess what got to happen? Well, you got to go free. Everybody got to return to their family, to their possession. But I bought you with good money. Got to return. Right?
So that mean if someone was in debt to you and stuff too?
All that.
Release.
Let it go. Even if you just, let's just say you just hired them last year. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's it. You got to let them go.
All right? So watch this. Because it's going to deal with some of that. Most High God is fair. All right? It's going to deal with some of that. Watch this.
For it is the Jubilee, it shall be holy unto you. You shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. In the year of this Jubilee, you shall return every man unto his possession. And if you sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buy aught of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another.
Right? So he's saying if you sell or you buy out of your neighbor's hand, you shall not oppress one another. Watch this.
According to the number of years after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according to the number of years of the fruits, he shall sell unto thee.
So in other words, what he's saying is, y'all know Jubilee are right around the corner, right? Y'all know we in the 44th year right now. I ain't gonna get you for a couple years. You know what I'm saying? 44th ain't good because y'all let you go in 7 years anyway. So that ain't really good. Let's just say we in the 48th year. I only got you for 2 years. Right? And then I got to set you free. I got one really good year out of you. Then I got to set your butt free. So now when we negotiate that deal, if I'm buying knowing I'm really only paying for a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying you can't oppress nobody with that. Just be like, okay, well, I'm going to charge you the full jug. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know you got to let me free. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that's talking about. He's saying you got to be fair with it, right? You can't oppress each other with it. Keep going.
According to the multitude of years, thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of years, thou shalt diminish the price of it.
Right? So the more years you going, you paying for the year. The less years, you diminish it. Right? Keep going.
For according to the number of the years of the fruits does he sell unto you. Mm-hmm. You shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy God, for I am YAHUAH your God. Mm-hmm. Wherefore ye shall do my statutes, keep my judgments, and do them. And you shall dwell in the land in safety. And the land shall yield her fruit, and you shall eat of your fill, and dwell therein in safety. And if you shall say, what shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow nor gather in our increase. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year.
What shall we eat? Because look, in this situation, we got 2 years back to back. So he said, what shall we eat? He already know they're going to ask the question. He was like, man, don't worry about it. When you say, what shall you eat? What did he say?
Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year.
In the 6th year.
It shall bring forth fruit for 3 years.
For how many years?
3 years.
So he's saying, listen, it's going to be good enough in the 6th year. If you do this like I told you to do it, in the 6th year, it's going to give you enough to last you 3 years. So remember, when it comes to the 49th and the 50th year, we're down for 2 years. He said that's all right. Because in that 48th year, man, that thing gonna last you for 3 more years. It's gonna take you over. It's gonna take you through the 51st year. Right? That's how the Most High God set it up. Now, if we look at that, we might be like, that's unbelievable. Right? Unbelievable. But if we know our book, why would we believe that? What would cause us in our history to believe that?
Wasn't it, was it Solomon?
Solomon? Nah, Solomon ain't happened yet.
Oh, you said already.
Yeah, what would happen for the people who sitting there today?
Manna.
Manna?
We had the manna.
Manna? What else?
You know what I'm saying? We had, what, Leviticus?
What would make us believe that he can give us enough in 1 year to last for 3 darn years?
When he said, those that ate had full and they had no lack, the Passover.
What else? What about Joseph?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, yeah, you're
Right?
They drawing blanks today.
Right? Didn't Joseph say, man, it's going to be 5 years of, was it
7
5?
years of
7
plenty.
years of plenty
And 7 years of famine.
and 7 years of famine. And what happened with the 7 years of plenty?
It was a lot.
And what they do with it?
They put up a fifth of it. A fifth of all of it. It was a fifth.
And how long it last them?
Through the 7 years of famine.
They was able to last through an entire famine. A year for a year. They got double on each year. Right? If we know that, then we like, oh, no, the Most High God can do that. Right? These are the things that he does for us. He put it in our history so that when he put us in front of something, it's like, nah, that's unbelievable. It's like, well, I already told you that I did it here. So you either believe me or you don't believe me. That's what it comes down to. Like, you either going to believe that your father Joseph did this or you don't believe me. You tell me which one you going to do. I can tell y'all what I'm about to do. I'm going to rock with the man. You know what I'm saying? Man, they can do it. I'll be like, oh, well, don't touch my darn field, boy. You know what I'm saying? Sit your butt down. Matter of fact, the 50th year, you go free. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't got nothing to do with me. Let's keep going.
And you shall sow the 8th year and eat yet of old fruit until the 9th year. Until her fruits come in, ye shall eat of the old store.
Of the what?
Of the old store.
That's what Joseph was doing. Remember? He stored it up and he ate of the old store through the 7 years of famine. Matter of fact, everybody started coming to him because they didn't have it. Right?
Jacob have to send them to go look at it. Ain't that from
That's
God
right.
in Egypt? Like, what y'all doing here?
That's how the Most High God worked. Right? Keep going. Watch this.
The land shall not be sold forever. For the land is mine, for you were strangers and sojourners with me. And in all the land of your possession ye shall grant a redemption for the land. If thy brother be waxen poor and has sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold. And if a man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession. But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that has bought it until the year of Jubilee, and in the Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession.
Right? So what he's saying is, if Daniel, me and Daniel brothers, you know what I'm saying, or cousins, or, you know what I'm saying, that's my nephew, or he my uncle, or whatever it might be, right? The way it works is, if I get into a situation where I'm like, I'm out of money, but I owe this man, or I need his help, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I ain't got the resource, I ain't got no house, I ain't got no land that I own to work no fields or nothing like that. I'm just out here. You know what I'm saying? So the only way I get to eat is I got to buy something, but I don't have no money, or I got to go sell myself to somebody who got some land, right? Because I don't have land. I don't have no money to buy. Where am I getting land? I can't just walk somewhere and be like, I'm going to take it. The land all taken. Everybody own land. I'm just a man walking around here. My family ain't got no money. So what I'm going to do? Okay, you got land, and you need help somebody working it. I just want y'all to understand, like, how this situation, when we say bondman, I don't want y'all to think just people always stole something or anything like that. Some of these just regular situations, I don't come from a wealthy family, but you at least got land. And you don't got a whole lot of people. You're not wealthy yourself. You just got some good land, and you ain't got nobody to really work it for you. So you could be getting twice as many crops out, but you don't because you ain't got so many people to sow it, to plow it, and all that. So I tell you what, right? I'll sell myself to you. I'll work for you for 7 years. And if in that 7 years, you let me do X, Y, and Z, right? And so the deal might be you can have this room, right? You can eat, you know what I'm saying? And I'll kick you a little bit of this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get to keep this. Now, guess what? I got grain because I'm taking it. Maybe you don't give me no money. All you say is, this is your portion of the grain. You work in my field, this is your portion of the grain. Now I got grain. I go to the market and I say, I'm still your slave for 7 years. I go to the market and I say, here. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. I'll sell that to you. I'll sell that to you. I'll sell that to you. So now I'm getting my money up. Over the 7 years, I'm working your field. You gave me my portion of the grain. I go sell some of my grain. I eat the rest of it. And guess what? I get my money up after 7 years. I got enough money, and maybe I can go buy my own field. I can go buy my own home, right? So that's the method of what's going on. Relax, boy. You're teaching me how to work a field. I do this for 7 years, almost as an apprenticeship. I'm sitting there, I have my home paid for and everything based off of the work that I'm doing for you. And now I'm an expert of it after 7 years. I can go start my own. And then now I got a little bit, I'm selling my grain, I'm doing whatever I got to do. Hey, young man, you know what I'm saying? You want to come work for me? Just give me about 6 years. I'll let you go into 7. Right? So what he's saying is, if a person makes that agreement and say, you're going to be here 7 years, and then let's say my family come up on some money and they see me over there, they like, I can redeem you. I can work out a deal and be like, well, okay, we got 4 more years left in this contract. What did you expect to get? The law says you have to allow that to be redeemed. You negotiate whatever you got to, but you have to allow that redemption. So now, since you my family, all right, for sure. Well, you know what I'm saying? You would probably earn about X amount based off of the 4 years left. Okay, let me cash you out. Here you go. Couple shekels for you. Let's get up out of here. Right? And I can redeem my brother or my nephew or my uncle or whoever it might be. Right? So that's what this is talking about. Keep going.
That's also in Deuteronomy when he said, no one will buy you. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
ain't nobody gonna come and get you.
Nobody gonna redeem you.
Yeah.
So is that also talking about what's that? Abraham that worked for his wife 7 years with
No, it's Jacob.
It's Jacob, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jacob?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jacob worked 7 years.
He worked like 20, I think 20. You worked 20 of them things.
Yeah, 20 altogether. But yeah, 7 years for each of the women that he married, and then you know that additional 6, you know what I'm saying, he did for Laban. But yeah, that ties into this too, because you know that's the law that the Most High God gave us in Exodus 25.
No more of that swindling stuff. You
25,
7 and done.
21, where he told us that 7 years you let them go, right? And that's where that come from. You know what I'm saying? You let them go 7 years, you gotta let them go free, and that's how you keep. That's how you keep from what happened to us in this country. That's how you keep that from happening. You make it a law. You can't just indefinitely enslave people. And then he got it set up where, okay, well, even if you get past that 7th year, every 50 years, everybody got to be set free. Mm-hmm. Right? So not only do the 7th year of that person working for you, they got to be set free, but if it cross over to the 50th year, it don't matter where they are in their contract, you got to set them free.
So these people was just by the book, like they say. When slavery started in what, like 1619? That thing would have been done in like 69?
Mm-hmm.
If they, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine, like, if it only lasted that long? That's crazy. And they were still doing it unjustly.
Yep.
But anyway.
Keep going. Let's see what else we got.
I forgot what it was.
You was on 29?
Okay. And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold. Within a full year may he redeem it. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it throughout his generations. It shall not go out in Jubilee. You got that money back guarantee, you know what I'm saying, after 1 year, you know what I'm saying?
That's pretty much what it is, right? It's basically what is it? What type of person would that protect?
Somebody that live in the city that just bought their house. Probably a woman, most likely.
It's somebody. So what this is intended to protect, chances are you living in a city, in a walled city, this is not land, right? This is not land that got, you know what I'm saying, they got fields in it and all that, you know what I'm saying? You probably ain't got a whole lot of fields. So now if you fall on hard times because you ain't got no field that you working directly for yourself, right? Then it gives you a whole year to try to get it back together and come back and buy this place back. Like I just told her to get a little money. Maybe I can take the money, I'll go buy me a field, I'll work the field, get my money up real quick. I can go back and buy this place. You know what I'm saying? And it allows you to do that. instead of having to give it up since it's in a walled city. Keep going. Watch this.
But the houses of the villages which have no wall around them shall be counted as the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee. Notwithstanding, the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possession may the Levites redeem at any time.
Right? Levites always can get theirs back. We're gonna talk a little bit later about that and why that's the case.
Yeah, knock on the door. Yeah, I need that.
Yeah, they can always get theirs back. Right? Now, of course, it ain't no like, you know what I'm saying, I just get it back for free. I got to buy it back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got to negotiate the deal for it. And most I got don't say nothing about he get it back for the same price that he sold it. No, you still got to negotiate the deal. Got to be a fair deal. But the opportunity, like you can't just say, nope, not for sale. You got to tell them, okay, you can sell it. I mean, I'll sell it, but it's for such and such price. All right, keep going.
And
You gotta understand, this is our law. They people don't know nothing about these laws.
if they know the law, buying a house from a Levite, they already know that at any time he can come and buy it back. You know,
That's part of the deal.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody cheating nobody.
Yeah.
It's wide out in the open. You know your book, you okay.
And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold in the city of his possession shall go out in the year of Jubilee. For the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. But the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession.
All right. So now in the time of Jubilee, you gotta leave anyway if you're in a Levite city, right? Basically, it's protecting the person that's selling their stuff because they got money issues. So if a Levite run into some money issues, sold it up, that's all right. He can get it back. He can get it back in the year of Jubilee, right? If he's still living, you know what I'm saying? It's 50 years. He might die, you know what I'm saying? But if he's still living, he can get it back, or his family can get it back.
You know, nice little retirement too. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Sell that thing, get that thing right back. But remember, he told you, you know what I'm saying? You gotta sell and buy according to the year of Jubilee. So you know you only got so many years. You know you renting it, right? You know this ain't no permanent deal. It's like, man, I'm buying a Levi's home. You know what I'm saying? We only got 20 years to the Jubilee. Man, I'll pay you this much for it. Right? This ain't no permanent deal for me. I'm just renting. All right, keep going.
And if thy brother be waxing poor and fallen in decay with thee, then shall relieve him. Thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy God that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. I am YAHUAH your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your God. And if thy brother that dwells by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant,
That's right.
but as a hired servant, and as a sojourner, he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee.
All right? So a hired servant and as a what?
And as a sojourner.
So that means you're somebody who works for me, right? That gets profit and paid from me, and also lives with me, right? That's the rule set that you have to do for a brother. You can't just be a bondservant where you just a slave and you got to do, no. You have a contract, you have rights, you have things that, you know what I'm saying? It's a different relationship. A bondservant, typically, you're not getting paid anything. You're paying off a debt, right? You owe me something and you're paying off some type of debt, right? I'm saying the debt that you have, since you can't pay me the debt that you have is worth X amount of years of work. So you do this for X amount of years, I'm not gonna pay you nothing, but once you reach this term, you've paid off, you know what I'm saying, whatever your debt is. That's a bondservant. A hired servant is saying, I need help with this. At the end of the day, or at the end of the week, or at the whatever, I'm gonna give you X, right? So he says you gotta treat them like a hired servant and a sojourner. Well, a sojourner is a visitor, right? Somebody who's passing through. So that means you gotta treat him like he's a visitor, a guest, you know what I'm saying? And like he's a hired servant at the same time. It's a different level of respect for our people. Keep going.
And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto his possession of his fathers shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen.
That's right.
Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear thy God. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall you buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall you buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begot in your land, and they shall be your possession.
So he said, now it's okay for us to make bondmen and bondwomen out of the strangers, out of the other nations. We just couldn't do it out of our nations, right? Keep going.
And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brother and the children of Israel you shall not rule over one another with rigor. And if a sojourner or a stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwells by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family.
Right, so now the stranger or the Gentile or the people of the other nations, they can make you a bondman. So he's saying, now listen, if your brother get poor, and he go and we got a stranger in the land, and they set up shop and they doing well, they got money, they in their land, they welcome our land, and they got to follow our laws. But since they are not a brother to us, they don't have any law that they can't make us bondmen. Our law says we can make them bondmen, and our law says that we can't make our brother bondman. There's no law that says that the stranger can't make us a bondman, right? So then, if they make us a bondman, which is not prohibited in the law, this is what can happen.
After that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him. Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him, or unto him of his family may redeem him, or if he be able, he may redeem himself. And he shall reckon with him that bought him from the year that he was sold unto him unto the year of Jubilee. And the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of years, according to the time of a hired servant shall it be with him.
Right? So he can be redeemed by any Israelite, right? Or he can redeem himself if he has the money or he has the situation to do it. Keep going. I love this thing, man. I love this law.
If there be yet many years behind, according unto them, he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for. And if there remain but few years unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall count with him, and according unto his years shall he give him again the price of his redemption. As a yearly hired servant shall be with him, and the other shall not rule with rigor over him in thy sight. And if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children.
Andre, come here. Sit down.
Unto me, the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
Let's go to chapter 26. Now, Leviticus 27. We not gonna read today. We gonna get into we gonna talk about that as we cross over into Numbers, because Leviticus 27 kind of goes into the next piece of things. Goes back into some laws, but it goes into the next piece of things. So we'll talk about that when we get into Numbers. But let's read Leviticus 26. Anybody heard of Deuteronomy chapter 28? All right. Well, this is the first Deuteronomy 28. Watch
shorter
this.
version. You shall make you no idols nor graven image, neither rear up any standing image, neither shall you set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it, for I am YAHUAH your God. You shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield her fruit. And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time. And ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of your land, neither shall the sword go throughout your land. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword.
Watch this.
And 5 of you shall chase 100. And
5 of y'all gonna chase 100 of them, he said. Watch this.
And 100 of you shall put 10,000 aflight. And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. For I will have respect unto you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, and establish my covenant with you.
Right, so these are all the things that will happen if we continue in his word, right? Watch this.
And you shall eat old store, and bring forth the old.
He said you shall do what?
Eat old store.
You shall eat what?
Old store.
So we just got done reading. Right? He said, man, I'm going to give you enough to last you how many years?
3.
3 of them things. You talking about you worried about the next year. Boy, God, man, you'll last 3 years. He said, man, you mess around and eat. You worried about the 7th year. You could eat on to the 8th and the 9th. Right? So he said, you eat the old store, but watch what he say after that.
And bring forth the old because of the new.
What that sound like?
The kingdom of, what was it? The kingdom of heaven is like a householder who brings forth treasuries out of his house, both new and old.
Right? We go with the only reason we reading the old is because of the new. Right? We started off with the old, the new came, and these people told us the old was done away with, huh? That's backwards. That ain't even how the Most High God worked. Most High God said, well, the new's supposed to take you to the old. You don't know the law, you'll never know that. Keep going, watch this.
And I will set my tabernacle amongst you, and my soul shall not abhor you. And I will walk among you, and will be your God, and ye shall be my people. I am YAHUAH your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that you should not be their bondmen, and I have broken the bonds of your yoke, and made you go upright. But if you will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if you shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that you will not do any of my commandments, do all of my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague, that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies.
Right?
They that hate you shall reign over you. And
he said, they that hate you shall reign over you. He said, you will sow your seed in vain because your enemies shall eat it. In other words, this is what he's saying. We would be working in fields and growing people's food and product, right? For no reason, because we don't even get to eat it, but the people that we consider our enemies would eat it. He said, those that hate you shall do what?
Rule over you.
I don't know what this could be talking about. Keep going.
And you shall flee when none pursues you. And if you will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. And I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron and your earth as brass. And your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield her fruits. And if you walk contrary unto me and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. I will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children and destroy your cattle and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate. And if you will not be reformed by me by these things,
listen to what he's saying each time.
To me,
he's saying each time I'm trying to straighten them out. Right? All these things happen. And what's the mindset of the people? They just feel like, the devil is attacking them. That's what this is. It's Satan attacking somebody right here. I mean, we talk about God, but guess who's attacking them? It's Satan attacking you. Let the Christian tell it. It's Satan attacking them. Right? So what's the mindset of people when that's happening?
they think it's the devil.
Satan just get behind me. Things just never go right for me. It just, but I'm going to keep trusting God. I know God ain't never left my side. Each time, what he's saying, if you continue to walk contrary to me,
I'm walking contrary to you.
how I'm going to be by your side if you walking contrary to me? If you're walking away from me, how can I be on your side?
How can 2 walk together if they're not being agreed?
It don't make sense. Keep going. Watch this.
Then will I also walk contrary unto you, and will punish you yet 7 times more for your sins. And I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. And when you are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilence among you, and you shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy. And when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven.
It's happening in Kings.
And they shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and ye shall eat and not be satisfied.
Everything that we reading either happened in our history after the Bible or in the book. Right? So we going to go through the whole book, and we're going to see where a lot of this stuff happened in the book, And then the stuff that didn't happen in the book happened in our history outside of the book, right? Keep going.
And if ye will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury. And I, even I, will chastise you 7 times for your sins. And you shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall you eat.
All right, because remember, at the beginning, he is talking about famine. He is talking about, listen, you do what you supposed to do, man, listen, you have to, you know what I'm saying, you have a new store, and it's going to take you to go, mess with the old. You're going to be putting new stuff in there. Like, okay, I got some more grain I need to put in there. It's so much this year. And then you're going to be like, nah, I can't start eating that. And you reach in the back, get that one back there for a couple years ago, start eating that one. You put that one right there, right? Because we don't want this one, you know what I'm saying? Still, you know what I'm saying? Still got a little bit. Let's go ahead and take that one, you know what I'm saying, before we start eating these new ones. You know what I'm saying? You ever had somebody, sometimes mom, you know what I'm saying, she buy the cereal and she go shopping and buy some more cereal before the, you know what I'm saying? And you ever had somebody open up the new box of darn cereal, mama whoop everybody darn butt?
Well, what you doing? You still got that one?
You open a new box, you know, you open a new thing of cereal, you ain't the old one's still open and you left the darn bag open. That's what mama, let the darn bag open, right? Because that stuff is ingrained in us already. You gotta eat the old first. Don't kind of try to open up the new. You get you some. You got a little bit of milk left, right? Mom bought. You know what I'm saying? She bought. You know what I'm saying? It's the half gallon. It's a little bit left. She bought the gallon. You know what I'm talking about? Top ain't even cracked on that thing yet. What's gonna happen? You crack that new one and start pouring and start pouring. You got milk in there. You crack the new one and start pouring. What's gonna happen? Your butt gonna get toe up in my old house. What's wrong with you? Why would that make sense? What's going to spoil first, the new one or the old one?
Oh.
You got to go to the old first. Stuff just makes sense. So I'm trying to figure out how these people get a New Testament and just figure out, oh, I can just get rid of all the Old Testament books except for Psalms and Proverbs. That's crazy to me.
How you even understand any of that stuff?
Soon as you start reading the new, you should be like, you right. This ain't none of my business yet. Let me go to the old. Let's see, keep going.
And I will destroy your high places and cut down your images and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols. And my soul shall abhor you. And I will make your cities waste and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation. And I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors. And I will bring the land into desolation.
In other words, what he just said is, I'm going to cause your sacrifices to stop. That's what he just told us. He said, I'm going to make your cities waste, and I'm going to bring your what?
Sanctuaries unto desolation.
I'm going to bring your sanctuaries onto desolation. He's telling us that he's going to build a temple for us and destroy it. Right? Then after that, he said, I'm going to do what?
And I will not smell the sweet savor of your sweet odors.
Right? The sweet savor came from our altar, or the burnings on the altar. He said, I'm not going to smell them. Why would he not smell them? Because they got destroyed. It's done. Right? All this stuff happened. Watch this. Keep going.
And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it. And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw the sword after you.
Oh, what do you know?
And your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste.
He said he gonna make our land a desolation. He's gonna put our enemies there, and they're gonna be astonished. They're gonna be looking like, wow. Right now, do you know what they're doing? They digging up stuff, and you know what they saying when they dig it up? Wow. They are astonished at it. To this very day. They dig up stuff and be like, wow, would you look at that? This is from X amount of time. The Israelites, I mean us. Yeah, they put it. The Israelites, I mean Jewish people. Talk about that line, boy. In our land. Wow, astonished at it. To this day, they've been there for years. They still in there astonished. Right? And the folks that were there before them was astonished. You know what I mean? Different people that been there. Because we can try to put it on the Jewish people. Jewish people ain't been there the whole time now.
No, they only been there since 19.
You know what I'm saying? They just got there. That's new for them. They ain't been there the whole time now. There's been a lot of them Arabians that been there. You know what I'm saying? Middle Eastern, you know what I'm saying? You know, who knows what you want to call them, you know what I'm saying, where they really from. I personally think they, you know what I'm saying, the people from Turkey. You know what I'm saying? They come from that area. That's what I personally think. But you know, who knows where these people came from? They call them Palestinians. They probably call them, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? They are there first. They spend more of the time there. Jewish people just got there. Right? Keep going. He said he's going to make it an astonishment to them. And then after that, he gonna do what with us?
And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out the sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths, as long as it lies desolate, and ye be in your enemy's land. Even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbaths. As long as it lies desolate, it shall rest, because it did not rest in your Sabbaths when you dwelt upon it. And upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness into their hearts, into the lands of their enemies. And the sounds of a shaken leaf shall chase them, and they shall flee as fleeing from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursues.
He said he's going to make us scary. Now, a lot of people may not see it, but we have a scary people. Scared to do anything. When stuff start to get real, you know what we start doing? It's taking a white man talking points. Right? You got somebody telling you, listen, you got a white person telling you, hey, just do it yourself. I don't want to help. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Right? After enslaving you. Right? Then you got somebody to come in and be like, and they tell you, these people enslaved you. Right? A Hebrew will come back and tell, these people enslaved you. What they did was wrong. That's why you in the condition that you in. And you know what our scary butts to say back to our brother or sister who say that? Oh, nah, man, I don't need no handouts from the white man. I'm self-made.
They ain't no handout if they owe it to you.
I'm self-made. I can do this on my own. I don't want to ask them for nothing.
I don't go to my job to get no handout. You know what I'm saying? I work for that.
Right? That's the mindset because I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared to go to him and tell him that he did something wrong to me. I'm scared that it's not going to work. So instead, I give myself confidence and I say, I'm self-made. I don't need nothing for him. That's a handout. I don't want no handout. Right? We scared of police. We'd kill each other, right? White man walk down, it's like, he's scared, you know what I'm saying? We don't know how to deal with him. Right? We scared. He made us that way. Keep going, watch this. Let me tell you something. If he didn't put that fear in our heart, he told you what would happen. How many of us would chase how many?
He said 5 of us will chase 100.
No, he said 5 would chase 100, and then 100 would chase how many?
10,000. 12,000.
That got
Something
that.
like that.
10,000.
10,000.
That got that. So if we didn't have a fear, it would be a problem for these people. You understand? It would be, we're not dealing with a regular situation. It would be a problem for these people if we didn't have the fear. He put the fear in us for a reason. Because they couldn't keep it. There wouldn't be no way to keep us here. You know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't be a way. We get it. All we need is 5. We're going to chase all 100 of y'all away. That's easy. You know, I don't need that. Hey, you doing something? What you doing this weekend? What you ain't doing nothing? All right, let's go ahead and take care of this real quick. That's quick. 100 of y'all done. Let me get 100 of us? Oh, we chasing 10,000 of y'all away. Them is odds they can't play. They can't fight against those odds. Right? That's why to this day they putting stuff in, you know what I'm saying, vaccines and all this stuff that, you know what I'm saying, messing with our young boys. All right? That's why to this day they coming around and they saying, you know what I'm saying, listen, it's okay for men to be emotional and this and that, because they don't want us to get to a place where it's like we thinking clearly, we not thinking and reacting to emotions, and we handling ourselves appropriately. Right? I don't let these people play with me. I tell people all the time now, I tell my son not to cry. Just like I did the boys just now. I tell my son not to cry all the time. You have to let him cry. You mind your darn business. You mind your darn business. That's the problem with black. You can't tell me what the problem with black men is. I just don't think you can tell me that. As a black woman, as a white woman, as a white man, I don't feel like you can tell me that. Even as a black man that regurgitating something they heard from somebody else, I can't take it from you. You can't tell me that. I'm very clear on what the issues are. Right? The issue is not that men are suppressing their emotions and all that's a lie. That's a lie. The issue is that we was raised by what?
Women.
We're not suppressing emotion is the problem. We use emotion as an attack. Right? Which typically a woman can do. Right? It's built for a woman to be that way. It's built for a woman to weaponize her emotion. What happens when a man does it? Somebody get hurt. It's not made that way for a man. So guess what a man got to learn how to do with his emotion? Control it. Not suppress it and pretend like it's not there. Right? That's what women tend to do. And in fact, when women do that, a man is supposed to be able to help her guide and walk through that. But all of our stuff is so messed up that women have to navigate that alone. Women then raise men to navigate it the way that they navigate it. It don't react the same way for a man. So now this man who's looking like, oh, I'm supposed to express my emotions and be emotional, and I shouldn't be ashamed of being emotional and crying. It's natural. Everybody should do it. Then he does that, and then the woman look at him like, you a crybaby when she mad at him.
You weak.
You weak. She can't find peace and strength in you because you just as unstable as she is. She's looking for something stable. She's looking for something that she can lean on when she ain't feeling right. When her stuff is all over the place, she's looking for somebody that can just put her up and straight. Hey, listen, okay, got it, understand, but this is what we got to do. She needs that. She wants that. Even if she don't need it, she wants that. Right? And as a man, you can't give it to her because you was raised by a woman. Nobody ever told you, you know what? All that emotion stuff comes second to responsibility. Got it. Like, understand it's there. Feel it. All that. But we ain't got time for it right now, though, because all this got to get done first. Then after you do that, you tuck that stuff in. When it's done, you let it out. Do whatever you want to do. Cry. Do whatever you want to do. Just do that thing in the privacy of your own darn home. I ain't never seen so many people just crying for a whole bunch of... What's wrong with... Y'all think y'all doing something?
It ain't doing it.
A man ain't never supposed to waste his cry.
It ain't doing nothing.
Man shed a tear, whole world's supposed to move. When we weaponize our emotion, it's supposed to be for the whole world. I need the entire world to move right now. Can't waste no crying on those little stuff. Somebody hurt your darn feeling? No, we ain't got no time for that. Get your butt up, let's go. We got responsibility. We got stuff we need to do. And now you get a generation of people that every little thing break them. Every little thing touch them and alter them. And they can't even focus and they can't deal with this. And I can't. Why? Because they so in tune with their emotion. And what do you know? I've never seen people more in tune with their emotions, right? I've also never seen more mental health issues talked about. I ain't never seen more people talking about, telling themselves that they're self-medicating. Yeah. Ain't that what they say?
I ain't heard that one.
That's what they say, but that's a slick way of saying they smoking weed and all that. They go, man, I'm just self-medicating. Listen to these kids. Listen to the kids that be on these drugs and doing all this stuff. Listen to the music where they be talking about it. They're telling you that they doing it because they got stuff going on. You're emotional butt. You've never learned how to restrain your emotion to get past it. So guess what you got to do now? Because you're so unstable, raised by women. Raised by feminine men. And when I say feminine men, I'm not talking about gay men. I'm just talking about men who were raised by women. I was raised by a woman, so it ain't no, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's only by the grace of God that I had this mind that we could say, you know what? Let's do something a little different. Stuff got to line up a little bit. Let's just do something a little different. But that's where we get it from. It's unstable when we see it. It ain't for a woman to try to be stable on her own. That's not the function. Just as it's not for a man to try to feel emotions on his own. That's not his function. It's supposed to be a man and a woman that partner in this way. She helps him feel, and he guides her through logic. In a typical setting, that's not to say that there's not exceptions to that where the woman is naturally more logical than the man. It's another. I'm not talking about the 10% or the 2%. I'm talking about the overall. Right? Keep going. Let's see what we got.
And they shall fall one upon another as it were before a sword, when none pursues. And you shall have no power to stand before your enemies. And you shall perish among the heathen, and the land of your enemies shall eat you up. And they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity in your enemies' lands. And also in the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. If they shall confess their iniquity, and the iniquity of their fathers, and with their trespass which they trespass against me.
And what else?
And that also they have walked contrary unto me.
And what else?
And that I also have walked contrary unto them. And I've brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be...
Who brought us here?
And they then accept the punishment of their iniquity.
No, go back.
And I've also walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemy.
We have to admit, listen, he given us what we have to admit. You can't just say, oh, I walk contrary to God. We can all admit that. That's easy for the Christians now to admit. Or they can't take a step without saying, oh, well, I'm not worthy, God. Oh, I'm just a sinner. Oh, I'm just a lowly sinner. Oh, you can't throw a rock without hitting a Christian that'll say that, right? That's what you will never hear a Christian say. God walked contrary to me. Look how he lined them up. Because if you do it the way he say do it, there's no room for error. Right? I've walked contrary to you, God. You also have walked contrary to me. You've been against me. You have not been by my side. You have not been working with me. You have been against me. Right? And then on top of that, the next one.
And have brought them into the land of their enemies.
You have also brought me here. You put me in slavery. You have to be able to admit that and confess that. When you look at those things and you line those up, then it's like, okay, now I can work. Most I got looking at, now I can work with you. Now I can work with you. But it's pride to keep people from doing that. They never want to admit that God wasn't with them. Right? And then that is self-righteousness. Keep going.
If their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept the punishment of their iniquity, then I will remember my covenant with Jacob, and my covenant with Isaac, and my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. And the land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lies desolate without him. And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because they have despised my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them, for I am the Lord their God. But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. I am YAHUAH. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses.
So this all happened in Mount Sinai. So this is right after what we read in Exodus.
That's the first year they came up? Yep.
Remember, it was a full year when we put together the temple. The tabernacle.
40 days and 40 nights up there. He was getting all of this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that came right after that, right? So when we get to next week, we're gonna do probably gonna put a graphic together for what we have in 27. And then we're going to put a couple graphics together for the beginning of Numbers. And we're going to walk through some of that stuff, and we'll see. Then you'll see that we'll start to get a little bit more into narratives like we were in Exodus. All right, so we'll get some narrative, then we'll have some time to go by. Then it'll be a big jump in time. It'll just skip a lot of time. And then we'll have, the end of Numbers. Then we'll go into Deuteronomy, where Deuteronomy is it's not a lot of time to pass for Deuteronomy either. It's just a recap. So Deuteronomy is almost like just, it's like 1 or 2 days worth of conversation that's happening. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just, things being recapped to them before we enter into the land. All right? So we still got a lot to go. A lot of stuff to learn, a lot of stuff to look at. But it's getting exciting.
Yeah, Numbers is full of them things.
Yeah, buddy. Any questions?
No.
Who always happen to be around and tell me it ain't no questions? Yeah, boy, you pop up right in the right time. Ain't telling, nah, no question.